Hey, what's up? So, over the weekend, I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And obviously, I'm very excited about it. But there's also a lot of thoughts I want to share with you about it. So, just for some context, I went back and looked at the first video I ever made. And it was made on September 1st of 2021, which is like almost 3 years ago. And over the course of these 3 years, I've made 153 videos. So, that's kind of a lot of videos. That's like a video a week, right? And if you take a look at the growth rate to get to 1,000 subscribers, it's actually really, really low subscriber count up until this inflection point, right? So this inflection point actually happened on video 145. So basically, for 145 videos I made for 2.5 years straight, I basically got no views, right? And all of a sudden, I hit an inflection point and just start getting views, right? So this kind of reminds me of how I was talking about results are not linear. You could be doing a lot of stuff and you don't see any results, but it comes later on. And for me to make 145 videos where I'm not getting any views, it's pretty difficult. So what I did was I had to change my measurement for success, right? I knew early on if I was trying to base my success off of how many views I got per video, I was gonna quit pretty early on because it's really difficult to get views, and then I was not able to get views, right? So I had to base something that I can control, which is can I make a video? So if I made a video, I felt successful. If I didn't make a video, I did not feel successful. So you want to base on inputs. I want to base on inputs and not outputs. And another thing I did was I had to lower my expectations, right? So I basically told myself, hey, if I was giving a talk and 20 people came, like I would be pretty excited. I would get nervous, right? Because so many people. So if I got 20 views on a video, that's actually pretty good. And as a 35-year-old man with no social media pull, like I can't expect to get hundreds or thousands of views because I don't know that many people, right? It's just what it is. So just to lower my expectations. The video I got the most views on was actually the first one here. I got 368 views, and that's because I shared it with my friends on Instagram, right? And after that, I basically went like 2 years, 2 years where I just didn't get any views, and that was fine because I was basing my success on whether or not I make the video, and I actually enjoyed making the video. So that's what I was doing. So I was actually really trying to focus on optimizing for consistency. So I was like, how do I make more videos without burning out? And I did a couple things, right? One is I decided not to put any time and energy into production value because I just didn't want to edit videos because I spent a lot of time editing videos and then I post it, no one watches it, then I'm gonna get discouraged, right? I also didn't put any energy into marketing because the only place I could market was with my friends on Instagram, but like I didn't want to bother them that many times. And also, like, if I posted it with my friends on Instagram and no one watches the video, I'd be like a little bit sad. Versus if I just post it on YouTube, no one watches it, like I don't really care as much because that's just the algorithm, right? But if I'm trying to, if I set expectation for people to watch this video and no one watches it, then I have an ability to be sad. So I just didn't do that. I also didn't want to put energy in the thumbnails because I was kind of shy. I just something about I have a very low threshold to cringe, and like I just feel like a lot of the thumbnails that I would make would I would look back on it one day and I would cringe. So that kind of made me not want to do it. And then also I didn't want to ask people to like subscribe, especially when I had a low view count, because I was also scared of cringing at myself as well. Although I started doing it more recently, and I could talk about that later. But yeah, this is something that I decided I was going to do in order to make this easier for me to make videos. Oh yeah, I just want to give a shout out to there's this one commenter. There's a period of time when like 2 years where like I was making videos and no one was watching them. And but there's this girl that was watching like every video, and like over the course of a year, she probably commented on like every video straight. And it just made me feel like I wasn't yelling into the vacuum, right? One person was actually watching the video and commenting something that was like substantial that made me feel like she was actually watching it, and that actually helped me a lot. It gave me the motivation to continue making videos because at least one person was watching it. It made me feel like I wasn't just like making something that nobody was watching. So that helped a lot, and I really appreciate that commenter. Um, so yeah, so the reason I want to make this video is because okay, I felt like this really fast change up after I started getting more views, right? Like the thing with getting more views is kind of like I kind of felt like crypto, where like you see you check your app and net worth goes up and you feel good about it, and once it goes down you feel bad. Like the expectations just go up so fast, right? So it's like one week I was happy if I got 100 views, and the next week I was like unhappy if I got like 500 views, right? And then it's just like your expectations just change so fast, even though you would be so happy like 2 weeks ago. So I really didn't like that was happening, and I've experienced this so many times throughout my life. With like investing, with getting a raise at a job. With certain things, like especially doing a startup, you get all these like you get news like really frequently. Like just having the expectation go up all the time, like so quickly, is just like really. I think it's really bad for you know your regular happiness. And then I also found myself starting to care about things I didn't care about before, right? So I started trying to make thumbnails. I started trying to like analyze, like, hey, like when people drop off here, should I cut the video shorter? Should I start sharing, end screens? Should I start doing all this stuff? So I started getting more into like the what can I do to get more views? And it actually made me feel like it was more work, right? And then there's this thing that happened over the weekend was like I was going through a period, like every hour it tells you how many views you got. So there was an hour where I was getting like 250 views, 300 views, 300 views an hour, right? And then all of a sudden it just dropped to like 10. And that drop just made me feel like I lost money or something like that. I was like, yeah, even though 10 would be like pretty good for an hour, like regularly, but like I was like, oh my God, what happened? Did I do something wrong? And it was probably the algorithm just figuring things out. But then I just like really didn't like the amount of attention I was spending towards trying to get views. So I thought a lot about it. And because there's this like struggle, right? It's like, should I try? Like, should I be trying harder? Like, should I be like making more thumbnails and putting more into production? Should I be like trying to like grow the channel? Or should I just do what I like doing, right? And then like getting more views and subscribers is more of a byproduct of what I'm doing. And I decided that I need to do the latter. Like, it has to be a byproduct. It can't be like my number one goal because it's gonna become difficult for me as we go, right? So, for example, like if I'm happy right now if I get 2,000 views because that's the expectation. If I get to 10,000, am I gonna be sad when I get 2,000? The answer is probably yes, right? So then, like, what's the point of getting 10,000 unless I can keep 10,000, right? And then it's just like a hamster wheel where you just keep going and keep going, keep wanting more. So like, I gotta learn to be happy with what I'm at now, so then I don't spiral out of control. I don't start getting these expectations. So my question to myself was like, hey, if you're not gonna be able to keep happy with what you have now and expectations keep going up, then what's the point of getting there faster? Because at some point, I'm gonna be unhappy with where I'm at now, right? So that's kind of like the internal struggle I was going with over this weekend, and I just decided, okay, you know what, I'm gonna keep it out as it is, and I obviously care about views. I'm not pretending I don't care, but like I'm gonna like try to keep it real and just keep doing what I'm doing as if I didn't get the views to begin with. So yeah. So I also want to say thank you to everyone. Like I really appreciate all the views I've been getting. Obviously, it does feel good to have some external validation where people are actually watching what I'm putting out and they actually like are commenting and like are leaving like positive feedback. So I think every comment I read like gives me a lot more energy and motivation. And a lot of the more recent videos I've been making were just based on suggestions that people are writing. So yeah, keep giving me suggestions. I will try my best to answer if I feel like it's good to answer. Um, and that being said, when I started getting the view count, I was like talking to my co-founders, like, hey, what should I do? What should I do with this? And blah blah blah. And then like everyone started getting their input, and then he's like, yeah. And then he was like, oh, you should build you should build this, you should build that. And then immediately I started feeling like imposter syndrome. Like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. So I have some ideas of what I want to build, and I feel like the first thing I want to build is a small community. And my idea, I think that I can do is I think I can create like a goal setting community where we hold each other accountable on goals. I think that's something that I'm really interested in, and I don't think it'll be that difficult to do. I'm still figuring out the details. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start collecting emails. So if you're interested in just kind of figuring out or seeing what I end up doing, just submit your email. I'll put the link below. And yeah, and I'll reach out to you when I'm ready to start the group. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, once again, appreciate it. Really, really happy to be at 1,000 subscribers. At the same time, I'm not gonna try to set expectations too high, and I'm gonna be happy with what it is. So appreciate your time and see you next video. Thanks.